New York's Finger Lakes region first held motorsport in the area with sports cars. Formula One then put it on the map. But now, more than ever, stock car racing has called Watkins Glen International its home for road racing, and now it is round 5 of 24 on season 7 of the Speed Racing Network HairClub Truck Series. We are brought to our first road course on the season with high speeds, twists, turns, and curves both left and to the right, with little room to spare, and it sets the perfect stage for exciting stock car road racing, which is coming up next on SRN. I am Emerson Art, and Jonathan Byer should be joining me alongside here in the virtual booth any moment now, but we're excited to be bringing you live coverage from virtual Watkins Glen, New York. And last time out, Kyle Johnson was the one winning in a thrilling photo finish over returning SRN competitor Jackson Wade, who was later disqualified, and Dan Park was then moved up to second. But that was all as the field crashed and spun to the line behind last time out at Talladega. But tonight, we look for who can rise to the occasion and become our new road racing prowess here in Speed Racing Network at the famed Watkins Glen International. Hello everyone, and welcome to Watkins Glen International. Glad to be here, glad to be ready to bring the racing action from a high-speed road course like Watkins Glen. At least 34 drivers on the list for practice and qualifying tonight. We are only 2.5 minutes out from the end of qualifying. The times are flying on the score sheet. Why don't we take this moment to head on down and see what is going on out there on the track as we speak. We're gonna take our time to get down here, and how about it? We've got, this is the 00 Chris Luttrell working his way around the racetrack. We got Bo Brady, who's just put it up in the 11th position, running a 1:13.98. Top time right now, Drake Gardy, 1:12.84, and we can actually get those times up on the left side of your screen. There they are. And well, everyone kind of working their way onto the timing sheet. We also have Corey Stahl in the 33 machine, very fast driver, looking to put himself on the sheet, and Stahl goes 22nd. Maybe the roadie's not his thing. We'll see what happens for Corey Stahl here as the race goes on. Waiting for more drivers to take to the track here as qualifying coming to a close. Got about 1:36 left, and Chris Luttrell out here making extra laps, so why not take the extra time to practice while we have the extra track time. 27 drivers have set times thus far. We're still waiting on drivers like Joe Ruggles, Sean Long, Robert Vick, Jeffrey Vickery, Justin Smith, Shane Ledoux, and Mark Person to take to the track. I believe that'll leave us at 34 or 35 entrants for tonight's race. It should be a fun one, and actually the only driver left on track is this of Chris Luttrell, and so 1 minute left in qualifying. We take the moment to talk about the point standings coming into today's race, and so you see the top 5 on your screen, but Talladega kind of was the first of the wild cards to really kind of shake up the point standings. All of our winners right now in the top 10. Chris Luttrell still doing strong. He was down in 15th actually after Kansas, but after Talladega moved up 5 spots, Sean Merriman finds himself inside the top 20 in 11th for now. He was 20th. Robert Vick and Wally Babb, both of those drivers making huge gains in the points. Vick finds himself 16th and Wally Babb 19th in points. Drivers who haven't had the best of times, Gregory Smith. Now, I don't believe he ran at Talladega, so there's that as well. Corey Stahl has also missed the race thus far this season, but some drivers making some huge indents in the points there, and we are just getting going here in this season, but still plenty of time for things to be shaken up. And Watkins Glen, another one of those wild card races that could provide just a little bit more uncertainty and really shake things up for us as we get going into the season here. But we're only on round 5 of 24, and the gridding has commenced, and so it's time for us to go to our starting lineup, and there it is on your screen. On the front row, it'll be the 59 of Drake Gardy, looking for his first Speed Racing Network victory, and why not tonight here at Watkins Glen? Look at his qualifying time, 3.5 tenths clear of James Shanewolf, who starts second. It's Connor Cunningham who will start in third, and Lane Doyle to start fourth. Ben Park will round out the top 5. Kyle Speed starts sixth. Row 4 is Matt Greathouse and Aiden King. Row 5 will be Jason Green. Rounding out the top 10, Austin DeLong. Starting in 11th will be the 9 truck of Bo Brady, who is outside. Oop, went a little too far down the running order. It'll be Bo Brady then starting 11th. David Flanagan starts 12th. Radke will round, and Daniel Park will make up row number 7. Kyle Johnson, last week's winner, will start 15th. Scott Kalov then in 16th. It's Andrew Harris who starts 17th. Dylan Godinez 18th, and row 10 will be Wally Babb and Michael Sidor. Finding our way back to 21st will be the 74 Sean Corcoran. It'll be Corey Stahl in the 33 machine. Sean Woodside will start 23rd, and Dalton McKinney will start 24th. Sean Merriman and Chris Luttrell make up row 13, with Spencer Brown in the 71 machine starting 27th. Jeffrey Vickery in the 51 starts 28th. Row 15 will be Justin Smith in the 6th. Shane Ledoux in the 12th. We find our way back to row number 16, and we'll find us 84 of Sean Long, the 32 of Joe Ruggles. I'm sorry, the 96 of Joe Ruggles will start 32nd. 33rd will be the 77 of Mark Person, and 34th will be the 13 of Robert Vick. It's those 17 rows of Speed Racing Network HairClub Truck Series vehicles getting ready for racing action here from the Watkins Glen International. And it's like a very fun high-speed road course. We're gonna have a lot of fun tonight. These drivers, now, as it comes to road courses, this is probably one of the, I think easy is the wrong term, but it's one of the smoother transitions from oval racing into road racing when you race here at Watkins Glen. There's just so much, so many high-speed corners. Not too technical of a course. You do have, of course, the bus stop chicane, which was added in after some pretty heavy-duty racing accidents down in the carousel. So even before the bus stop was added in, I mean, we were really talking about a Popeye's biscuit away from being an oval. But now we're here at Watkins Glen. It's got a heavy braking zone down in turn 1. These S's right here that these drivers are working their way through right now on the formation lap is all about finesse and being smooth. It's very easy to get the truck sideways through these S's. If you just full throttle flat it out through here, you're gonna be hanging on for dear life. If you play with the throttle, you could be overtaken by someone who might just have the cojones to hang that truck out and really let it sail through the S's. But you come here out of turn 4 and down the back straight into the inner loop. This is where it can get a little technical. This can be where it gets a little fun. Heavy braking zone, and this is now not reflected in the sim, but NASCAR even made it a much smoother entrance recently, and with their recent trip to Watkins Glen International. But this is a lot of fun. Big heavy-duty bump on the front end of the bus stop. Got to really sail the truck in here, get it pointed in the right direction, come on out, and then huge elevation change as you come out of the bus stop and into the carousel. Carousel here, very easy to get that truck up onto the tabletop there on the left-hand side. It's gonna be very, very tricky here. You got to really hang on to that throttle. It's all about patience to maximize your time out of the carousel. Come out of the carousel here, and you have this big runoff area, but don't get too wide. The transition back from the runoff area to the racetrack could be a little treacherous, as of course this is where the boot enters and exits there on that short chute. Down here, turn 6, turn 10, it'll be your debate tonight, but the second to last corner is a nice left-handed 90-degree corner, and followed by a nice right-handed 90-degree corner to finish off the lap. That is a lap around Watkins Glen International, as provided by the Speed Racing Network HairClub Truck Series. Tonight it'll be 50 times round. And so once again, I am Emerson R. We are waiting for Jonathan Byer to join us up in the booth.
I'm right
tonight.
here, ready to go, right in time.
There he is. Perfect. All right, well, it's time to bring the racing action to Watkins Glen International. Green flag, and we're racing from Watkins Glen. first time out of the bus stop, and these drivers already working their way big time here around Watkins Glen. It's James Shanewolf who has taken the race lead away from Drake Carty. Now, Drake Carty was the dominant driver all through practice and qualifying, JB. I know you weren't able to see that, but I mean, he had huge gaps on the field. We're talking 3/10 over the second place driver. James Shanewolf qualified 3.5 tenths back of Drake Carty, but the early lap overtake here from James Shanewolf sets him up in nice positioning here on lap 2 of 50.
Yeah, I had a little discussion with Drake Carty's team owner Dylan before the race this evening, and he said Carty's kind of a sleeper pick out here. Was running really fast times in their team practice, and so when I heard that he was top of the boards in practice on my way to the broadcast booth, it wasn't shocking to me. But as we know, running a fast lap and running 50 solid laps at a road course are two completely different things. Because Watkins Glen does have a little bit higher level of tire degradation to it, as opposed to some road courses. And so, yes, he's fast, but we don't have any cautions that are going to break this race up. So strategy-wise, is he going to be able to keep up pace all day? That's something we're going to have to keep our eye on. But really impressed with these top two so far.
Had a moment deep in the field for Jeffrey Vickery. He had an off, and there he is in the V51
this
machine.
Emerson, we have 34 cars at this race this evening. One of the largest fields we've seen at a road race in Speed Racing Network in a long time. So I just want to give a shout out to our field tonight for showing up at tracks that cannot be their favorite. Some frustrating moments at times, but you know what? They know the importance of being able to be here every week for points. And so I just commend our field for doing that this evening.
Well, here's the thing, JB. A part of that, right? We're still very early in the season. Your season has not been made yet. You can very easily, trek well, or you lose a lot of spots in the points if you don't show up tonight, and that could be a burden for you on the rest of the season. And it looks like trouble for Sean Corcoran as he drops down the running order. Sean Corcoran looks like he lost about 6 spots there. Maybe had some trouble in turn 1, maybe a little wide. It looks like the truck is in that 74 machine is all clean. We'll carry on green here at Watkins Glen, a little off the pace as he treks up the hill.
Yeah, it's hard to regain momentum, especially if you have a really big moment out of turn 1, because you got a long way to go when all these trucks are going to be at full song. So you're going to give up some spots there for sure. What's nice about this track, there's some generous runoff areas that NASCAR and iRacing have paved in the recent years, and so there's space to run off the track. But as you can see there off the last corner, there are also sections of this track like that and in the S's that are really tight with that Armco barrier. And Emerson, I know you've been in this situation before, but hitting that Armco barrier here on the sim is not a pleasant experience. It tends to suck the truck in, throw it around, can actually do a lot more damage than you would think. I don't know if it's the way they have it programmed, but it does a little bit more damage than a normal wall. So something to keep an eye on there is when guys have moments, where is it on track? Are they able to be in a safe area? Obviously, the S's is one of the worst places here at Watkins Glen to have an incident.
Absolutely. There's guardrail all around. Of course, none of that safer barrier that you're used to. You have some tire barrier, but even then, JB, that's treacherous. You can get stuck in that tire barrier. It's that Armco, again, that's all the way around this racetrack. That is your barriers all the way around the track, and you're right. You just kind of get clanked off of it, but it doesn't clank you off without leaving its mark. It gives you some damage as well. As we watch Drake Carty work his way around this track, trouble for Corey Stahl in the back of the field, and he has already jumped back to the pit lane. So while we have a moment, we'll take a replay and see what happened to Corey Stahl in the 33 machine. Corey Stahl, again, one of our front runners most weeks when it comes to the oval side. But maybe, just maybe, Watkins Glen not being his favorite track tonight. Here he is running with the 45.
Right here at the entrance of the bus stop. I saw some smoke, and I wasn't sure who it was because the truck had already gone back to the pits.
Oh, no.
And that just looks like under braking, he's got a little bit of wheel into it. And every now and then, the truck will just steer itself. Like it's something that happens a lot under braking. I think that's going to end up being terminal for that 33 truck, unfortunately. But that's the other thing. We just talked about that Armco barrier. There's no forgiveness there, and so it's easy for guys to get a little squirrely. And that's all it takes. I mean, it bounces you off like you saw, but it definitely did a lot of damage to that 32 truck.
It definitely left this mark, and you know, it looked like to me, JB, he was trying to outbrake Sean Woodside that he was racing, but the truck just pointed a little too hard to the right, and that's another thing you got to balance here, JB. It's all the intricacies, right? You think of brake balance, brake bias as a tool for you to help the car turn, if you will, on ovals, but here at a road course, not only do you have to help it turn, you gotta get this thing woed down. This big, heavy 3,500-pound brick. You got to get it woed down into these corners, and so you could have a lot of front brake bias in it to get it slowed down, but that could also be the result, is that it throws the truck balance off when you slam the brakes like that.
Yeah, and it's a 3,000 pound something stock car, stock truck that does not want to turn either. That's the other issue. These things don't turn on a dime like your GT3s, your prototypes, things like that. They're a handful, honestly, and they're a lot of power, and they don't have the downforce to where anybody's driven a prototype. Ooh, a little bit of contact there.
Austin DeLong saying hello to Matthew Greathouse.
Saying, hey, I might be a little bit quicker. And this is something else, Emerson, that you kind of reminded me of a second ago. There's a etiquette to road racing as well that might not be something a lot of these guys that normally race stock car stuff only on the service understand. Where the passing zones are, where to let somebody go. You hear about SVG talk about it now that he's raced road racing in NASCAR, how that's kind of just out the window. You know, the things that they used to do in V8 supercars, whether somebody's got a wheel in here, you give them the line, the etiquette like that doesn't exist in this world. So that's something to keep an eye on as well as we go through this race.
If you just noticed there, Austin DeLong got loose out of the final corner, and Jason Green was right there for the taking. Took up that 9th position from DeLong right away, and Jason Green on the move, now looking at Matthew Greathouse as a nice tasty treat here in the 8th position.
Yeah, just looking at the registered incident points from the field to start this event. A few off tracks, which, you know, that's going to happen, like you dip a tire in the grass, but no big incidents outside that 33, so, you know, everybody through the first handful of laps here doing a pretty good job, and this race is going to go by fairly quickly as well.
Well, it might, but it might not go quickly enough for James Shainwolf, who's under heavy-duty pressure from Drake Carty. We knew Carty's been hanging in the shadows, hanging in the wings there in the 14 truck, but he really had to look there into the carousel, and here he goes down into that second-to-last corner. And while I'm calling it the second-to-last corner, JB, there's a big debate when you come to Watkins Glen, right? Maybe it's not as big anymore because I think it's kind of almost more settled in the way I probably don't necessarily like it, you know, but this track is known as two different tracks when it comes to cornering. You know, we'll get back to that later because here comes the 59 of Carty.
And I can tell you, Shainwolf is driving that thing trying to stay ahead of him, and he's just doing all he can to keep that 59 behind him. We knew the 59 was fast. We talked about it, but could he keep up the pace over the course to run? And well, I think so. He's gonna give it a look here going into one. I'm a little bit behind on my replay, but I was like, oh, he's going to give it a look going into one there. But doing all he can, right? Staying right with this 14, pressuring him in, hoping he can make that 14 make a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, last time out of the carousel, or out of the bus stop was very tight. You just saw it there, JB, on your end. He had a great chance there into turn one, but I think he hasn't been able to really sail it in yet. Looks like we got some trouble with Shane Ledoux around in turn one.
Yeah, it looks like he just got wide on it. Crossed up over those rumble strips. Which is easy to do.
Because it looked like he went for a little bit of a loop here. We got it here as he comes out of the final corner.
If you're going to do it, off of turn one, I mean, in turn one's the way to do it. Yep. You got plenty of room over there.
Yep.
Yeah, it gets a little bit in the grass, it looks like, on corner entry. And, wow, really good job by Chris Luttrell there in the double zero.
But coming back.
Oh, and almost clips the is that the 13 right there, that green truck?
I believe so.
Like. Good job by those guys, heads up driving. And that's what makes road course racing tricky, is you never know what's around that next corner because it's hard to see. And so you kind of got to just be on your toes all the time. Great job by those two. But like I was saying earlier, that kind of reminded me of that incident. You know, if you've driven a prototype, a GT3, any of those IMSA style cars around here, you know that dipping a tire in that grass can suck it around pretty easy. But you also know how getting over those rumble strips can cross it up a little bit. And that's the price you pay on those vehicles. The trucks, the issue is more of back on throttle that just doesn't have the downforce. You can't just mash the gas down like you would in those other vehicles. Obviously, the shift points are much different. Um, but I think it takes somebody who maybe has some road racing background in those things to know kind of where to maximize the speed on the corners. But then it takes somebody who's driven a lot of these trucks on the service to understand more of the physics of the actual vehicle. That's what makes this such a fascinating combination. And
Oh, look
Watkins
here.
Glen is a great track for it.
Jason Green on Aiden King. Aiden King, I believe this might be his first start in SRN. I don't recognize the name. Second start. There you
Second,
go.
we had him listed under Kevin the first race, which was a mistake.
go.
Aiden King is the driver, the number 97 again this week for Zach Talman.
Jason
A
Green
great
takes
young
that spot.
racer. Yep, he's working for it. Beautiful looking paint scheme. That number 90 truck.
Sporting some pink there for breast cancer awareness.
Yeah, you love to see it. Great.
Yeah.
I mean, again, another shout out to how many fantastic paint schemes are out here week to week in this series. That's something that a lot of visitors comment on, and we really commend our drivers on that because they work hard on those schemes all week long. But yeah, 90 truck's looking good. Little side note about Aiden King. He's a local short track racer, I believe, in the Carolinas, from what Drake has told me. Young, but very accomplished so far, so it might be a name that you don't necessarily hear just around SRN in the future as he works to make his presence known around local short tracks around the country.
Well, right now he's trying to hold off the known presence of the 22 of Austin DeLong, who's got a great run out of the final corner. They'll be side by side on the front straightaway into turn number 1. Does DeLong have the advantage? He has an inside line for now. Can he get clear under braking? He does. King tries to get the crossover, tries to get to the tailgate on corner exit. Sideways is the 22 under power, and into the S as we go. DeLong has the spot, but for how long?
Gotta remember, those are teammates too. So that's a different
going at
dynamic. You know, a part-time sub on the team versus a full-time driver on the team. You have to also weigh those balances as well. But great battle here between this little grouping right here. It's starting to spread out now. It looks like throughout the whole field we have a pretty good spread. These top two, though, just won't leave each other alone.
This is going to be great.
Yeah, and it's not too early because Watkins Glen, not a big track. Lap traffic. Yeah, you see a truck up there a little bit up the road there. Get to who that is. But that you're going to start seeing it now. And that can both hurt or benefit whoever's racing for the lead. You can set a pick. You can get a good run on corner exit. The leader could catch him at the wrong time.
Oh, Shane Wolf! Sideways! He clips the grass on corner entry. Cardi tries to get to the inside. Shane Wolf slides and saves it, but Cardi takes the lead.
What a save by that 14 truck. I don't know how you don't loop that right there.
Wow.
That was impressive. Goodness. James Shane Wolf might be not happy that he's in second right now, but is happy he still has every corner on that truck still available to him in this race. That was an incredible save and a very tough spot right there.
I'm trying to get a replay queued up there. I got it now. All right, we'll get a replay queued up here.
The leader's going by Mark Person, putting him in the first truck a lap down, it looks like.
So we kind of saw it live, JB, but here's what happened with James Shane Wolf and how he lost the lead.
Looks like he did what we saw Ledoux earlier. Clips this grass right here on entry. Yep.
But why does he clip that grass, JB? You see that truck shift to the left. That was under braking. Again, with that brake bias.
Yep, possibly. Yeah, you're probably right on it. I could see that happening there. Trouble for Joe Ruggles, I'm hearing.
Yep.
A heavy damage on the track. Fortunately for the 96. He's had an unfortunate rough go to the start of this season, but has shown plenty of speed.
Oh,
so
man.
The law of averages tell you that's going to turn around eventually, but this is not going to be the one. And I think that's the 77 Mark Person who we saw getting lapped.
He went on an expedition outside of turn 1.
Yeah, not what you want to be doing. Also kind of a dangerous spot on the track to be going that slow.
Yeah.
As you see the field trying to work their way around him.
I think he's serving a slowdown, or he's just that far off the pace, but really bad spot either way for both of those things to be happening.
Ooh, the leader. The leader's doing a little door slamming here in the
Uh-oh.
carousel.
Here we go. You're right back to it. Lap traffic put us back into this spot. Shane Wolf with the inside line into the second to last corner. Cardi trying to stay to his outside. Shane Wolf clears. Cardi's not done. Look at the send here into the final corner.
Wheel to wheel, still door to door, a little bit of lean. That's all fair. That's all fair. Hey, how about third and fourth?
That's what
Lane Doyle, Connor Cunningham. They're now getting in this.
Oh yeah, that's what the Brits would call a little aji-baji.
I love it.
Oh
man, what a good racing here up front. And that's a welcome sight here to Speed Racing Network. For so long, we've seen just road course ringer just take it to the field solo, and their only problem be lap traffic. And I mean, look at the first 5 trucks in this field. They're all right here on the same stretch here as we enter the bus stop.
Great stuff here. So on board with Lane Doyle. Looking forward. Connor Cunningham, by the way, having a great little run. Cunningham, only a one-time winner here in SRN. Why not today here at Watkins Glen to get another one under his belt?
Yeah, somebody I know dabbles in every form of motorsports on the sim, so he's definitely got some road experience behind the wheel there. And hey, as long as he keeps that clean truck right there, maybe he's just waiting for those leaders to overstep that boundary a little bit, and he's going to be right there in the cleanup position. Yeah, exactly. He knows what he's doing. But shout out to Lane Doyle in fourth. What a start to the season he's had. I mean, he's just, it seems like we're talking about him every week, and he's just putting himself in the right spot. And then, of course, Kyle Spees, you know he's going to be in this race somehow. No. And he's just getting there.
Another problem for Joe Ruggles. He had left the pit lane, JB, and he is now back in the pit lane. I think we'll spare Joe the replay after last week.
Yeah, unfortunately. But you know what, Joe, with good driver, shows up every week, good sponsors. He'll be back at it. He'll be back at it. A little bit of a lead here now for the 14.
Yeah.
Kind of lengthed it out a little bit. Not 100% on what the fuel mileage is on these vehicles. I didn't talk to team owners. I think, yeah, mid-20s is probably about right. I mean, usually some team owners will talk about it. They'll give us some insight for the broadcast, but I don't know if they just didn't want us to know what their strategy was going to be for the week. But they were pretty tight-lipped with that information, so it'd be interesting to see how you split this race up.
I think if you're not one of these front runners, JB, I think it's plausible. I don't know how possible, but it's in the area of reach, I'd imagine, that you could try to save and make it a 1-stop. I think if you're these front runners, you got to make it a 2-stop, which that mark comes around here very shortly. Lap 17 would be 1/3 of the race.
Yeah, and a full pit stop all the way down pit road. I mean, you're going to spend about 45 seconds, 50 seconds. You're not necessarily going to lose a lap. It's not quite that much because a lap around here is in the 1:15. You're not going to quite lose a lap, but it's a lot to give up. So if you can eliminate a whole pit stop, that's going to be beneficial. So I'm thinking if you're somebody like Ben Park in 6th, Matthew Greathouse in 7th, where you're kind of out of touch of this lead group right here, maybe that's your play to have a shot.
Look at this! Under braking, Cardi gained so much, and lap traffic right in front of Shane Wolf. This could get dicey. Oh, to the grass, contact with the 2 leaders.
They're 3 wide in the carousel.
They're still making contact.
Great thing, giving them plenty of space.
Wow.
Wow, what a drive.
Phenomenal stuff here from Watkins Glen.
Spencer Brown's going to give him plenty of room here. Great move by him.
Man. Oh, man. Don't look too soon. Connor Cunningham is here.
Yeah, that little lap traffic group kind of stacked up the leaders here.
Oh, sideways is Cardi.
Oh, he got the grass there, too. That's a good save. Not letting the grass whip him around. Wow.
This is great stuff, JB.
You look away for a second to talk about something going on, and then the camera just right back on the leader. Something else is happening here. They'll stretch out for a minute, and they'll all come back together, and that's what this lap traffic will do. Robert Vick is that 13 truck. He's going to be the next in line. Doing a good job trying to stay out the way. And what the leaders want lap traffic to do here is just be predictable, right, Emerson?
100%.
You want them to just hold their line. Doesn't matter where you're at. I'm going to go around you, but just don't move. Don't jar in the middle of the corner and cause a big issue.
while we have a quick moment, JB, I just want to get your opinion. How many turns does this track have? Is it 7 or is it 11? I'm always team turn 11, but I think the majority is now swinging back to 7 turns.
You know,
Do you
technically
count the bus
11.
stop or not? You know,
I do technically. It's 11. If you think about motions of the steering wheel, it's 11. So that is how many turns there are. Now, for spotter reasons, I do like the 7 because it's a little bit easier to talk about sections of the track that way. But it's really 11 turns.
battle here. This is Kyle Spees and Lane Doyle going at it for 4th, side by side into the heavy braking zone. Hard on the binders, both of them. Kyle Spees trying to outbrake him on the outside. Lane Doyle stay close to the curbing. Doyle clears up into that 4th position, or stays 4th, as Kyle Spees put on quite the attack there on the 47 machine.
Good battle right here. Two really good drivers.
Bo Brady in trouble in turn 1. He's found the outside barrier.
I'm hearing Bo Brady and Aiden King got together in some form.
There's some damage.
Yeah, a little bit of damage there on that 90 truck. Looks like he's wiggling it back and forth. Not sure. Maybe some wheel damage got involved, but I heard it over the radio first, and then I saw it pop up on the incident report. So some trouble there. Bo Brady, unfortunately, being shown as a having required repairs, so he's going to have to come down pit road and get that fixed up. But Drake Hardy's not quite done here with this. Drake Hardy is gaining so much time under braking. It's really impressive. But Shane Wolf's doing a really good job of just keeping the truck between the lines, getting in and off the corner nice and safely.
Keeping it disciplined.
Yeah, and being decisive with lap traffic too. You don't see him hesitate when he gets there. He just goes for it and hopes the lapper moves, which I think ultimately is probably the better idea, because then you don't give the lap traffic driver an opportunity to cross over and get in your way. So just like you see right there, very decisive move. I'm going to go to the outside of the 00. Chris does a good job getting out of the way there. He's going to let this whole lead group go by.
But there you go. As the top 3 calmed down a little bit, you also saw Doyle and Spees. They got back together close in turn 1. They've legged it out a little bit, little deeper in the field. Aiden King damaged and under attack from Kyle Johnson. Talladega race winner wants a piece of the action for P12. Into the bus stop we go, and Kyle Johnson, P12. As Bo Brady does hit the pit lane, JB, for that meatball flag you did mention. And Aiden King loses out to Dan Park as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking that 90 truck's got some significant damage to it. Maybe not all visible, probably some suspension there, but it just looks off the corner super uncomfortable, like maybe the steering wheel's off a little bit. So he's going to be battling that for a while until they can make that first pit stop. Which, speaking of pit stops, because this is the question we had, you know, we now run these road course races straight through with no full course cautions, unless the track becomes completely blocked. Race control does reserve the right to throw a full course yellow, but otherwise it's local yellows only, no stage break, no halfway break, nothing like that. And what I really like about that is I think it opens up the strategy to a whole plethora of different options.
All natural.
So I'm very interested to see how that, and as a racing purist, right, I believe that's the way it should be. And I'm glad we get the chance to do that this season, because that I also think is going to keep this battle on track all race long.
I believe so too. I mean, we're coming up to the halfway point, which that will be pretty decisive then. You know, if you make it there, that's the only stop you're going to make today. The last I can recall is the pit window being around 22 laps on a full tank of fuel in a stock car, but you know, the way these guys have been racing, you think they'd use more than that, but they're already on lap 21 here. So if they're close to the end of their fuel tanks, they're coming together.
Like I said, this race is actually going to go by at a pretty decent clip because of just not stopping, about just over 1 minute lap times. You know, we should be done with this race within the next 30 or so minutes, which, barring any crazy things, that is what's going to happen. So how do you divide up that last part of the race? And you know, I do wonder, now that we're on lap 21, seeing the lap time still where they're at, I think if you go to a one stop, if you can stretch it, maybe save a little fuel, you're not going to give up too much time on pace. I mean, it's about a 2-second difference from 20 lap tires to fresh tires, which, yes, is quite a bit, but you're not going to spend that much time on your tire delta. I just think giving up, an extra 50 seconds on an additional pit stop, you're just not going to have enough time to make that back up. If this race was longer than 50 laps, that would be possible, but with how short the event is, I think if you can make it in one, that's the move you got to make. But also, do you divide it in half? That's the other question. Yeah. Do you go a little long if you can? It's going to be interesting to see what these guys do. Definitely going to want 4 tires, though, when they come down.
100%. But we're on 22 now. I have to imagine that a one stop is plausible, because otherwise I think we would have already seen the leaders come down. Back here, Radke and Andrew Harris going at it. This is for P10. Radke was on the inside, Grash trying to get to the inside of the 87.
A good battle between another great set of drivers right there. This battle won't leave itself alone either. And then the leader's getting tied again. Oh, he missed the wall to the entrance to the bus stop right there. Wow. And like I said, Connor Cunningham is sitting back there going, you know what? You guys keep at it. I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna watch this unfold. I'm just gonna be ready when the time comes. He's doing a great job staying with these two, though. Like that's not an easy feat. These guys have definitely been the class of the field so far.
And on the curving there, another lap round. Cardi now, big run on the 14. Here we go.
Great exit. He's going to get it set up here into 1. Going to have position on the 14. We'll see if that much room the 14 chooses to give him. Not a lot.
Oh, man.
And now we got the front 3 nose to tail as they enter the S's.
Connor's there. I think Connor has to participate in this battle now.
I think this threw the rhythm off of the 14 a little bit there. You see him didn't get that right-hander there all the way on the curbing in the S's. Has a not great exit to the S's as well. Gonna give the 59 momentum getting in the bus stop, but I think after that last little scare, I think Cardi might take it a little bit easy on bus stop entries for the remainder of this race.
I want to mention Sean Long, Kyle Johnson, Spencer Brown, and Shane Ledoux all having some off-track troubles all around the track, but we'll keep our eyes on the top 2 battles, which is this battle with the top 3, and then this battle for 4. Both of these battles, which is heavy duty, really close, and we don't know which one is going to give first, if either are going to give.
Yeah, and if I'm Spees, I see that front 3 group getting a little further away, and I'm going, I need to get on something. Oh, leader's pitting.
Oh, here we go.
Shane Wolf right here
is in on lap 23. Well, JB, that is interesting.
Maybe he knows he can make it from here. So he's just going to get his service in and out of the way without any pressure. And
but if he can't, oh, man.
Well, how many times have we heard NASCAR crew chiefs say on these road courses, I work
backwards
from the end of the race forward? Exactly. So that might be the approach to 14's taken. And he knows, hey, if I get a good pit stop in, I get to use these good 4 fresh tires for a lap, I can get 2 seconds of cushion on the 59, and he's not going to be breathing them down my back bumper. That might be what he's trying to do as well.
Already preoccupied with the 24 machine. Just because Shane will pit it doesn't mean the battle for the lead has ended.
No. Maybe he looked in his mirror and go, oh, he's back there. So for reference, Shane Wolf just came off pit road and rejoined. So that shows you doesn't lose quite a lap.
Here comes Connor.
Still about 15 seconds. Yep, Connor now. Ooh. Nice tight battle here.
Whoa.
See if any of them choose to come down pit road here. You'll notice because they want to keep the right sides all the way down on the curbing. Nope.
They're both in the wall.
That was a simultaneous wall slap there. Didn't look like anybody got it too hard, though.
Nope.
So I think it'll be okay.
Wow. We're loving every bit of this. Lane Doyle pits from the 4th position. He gives up that battle between himself and Kyle Spees.
Oh, we got a truck around.
Chris Luttrell.
I think I thought, off turn.
There it is.
Can't tell what turn that is. Spencer Brown, I saw in that area. I don't think he actually ended up being involved.
Yeah,
there was Spencer Brown spun a little further back. I think near turn 7. Near off the carousel, I think, is actually where he spun. I saw him in the carousel way up out of the groove.
More drivers
He's
in.
giving way.
Harris,
Andrew Harris,
Johnson,
Kyle
Babb, and Kalal.
Johnson. Dalton McKinney came down already.
Pit lane starting to look just as busy as the hands on these two.
Yeah.
Drake Carty and Connor Cunningham doing work.
And you don't think about it right now, but how much time right now are they giving up to the 14? It's quite a bit. It's 2 seconds a lap. And
They
maybe
stay out
don't come
again?
this time either.
So I think
Just heard on the radio, Ben Park's coming this time.
I think your
He's in
theory is right,
fourth.
JB.
Yeah, I think so.
On Shane Wolf working this race backwards.
Yep. And I think the top guys are, the Carty and Cunningham, I think, and Speed, because he's still out there, I think they're just going to run it until they have to pit. I think they're just going to do the opposite, which is interesting.
Now they've made their bed. Not pitting for 2
eventually-
laps, they have to.
Eventually, these guys are going to come back together. Now, what's
Yep.
going to be, think about, the 14 is going to be on defense now. The other guys are going to be on offense. They're going to have fresher tires when we get to the end of this thing. So, would you rather be on defense or offense? I think Shane Wolf thinks, hey, if I pit now, I get them clean track, I can make a lot of time in a couple laps, balloon that delta a little bit, and not have to worry about them catching me later. I was not a good enough road racer to tell you if that was the way it works or not, but you know what?
I'd like to say I was just above average. Not good enough to be up here, but
I got to be on track with some incredible road racers, so I got to watch what they did. They're your Adrian Schumachers of the world, right? Like,
I think Carty's coming in.
There they go. Carty's coming. Cunningham does not this time, so he's gonna go try to lead a lap. Which, hey, that's a bonus point. So
Don McKinney in trouble. This is
Oh,
in the
he's
carousel.
around in the bottom of the carousel. That's a dangerous place to be around, but looks like he gets it back righted there. That's a nice paint scheme for that 46. I believe that's a new one this week. Don't recall
Cotton candy
seeing that
colors for
cotton candy looking machine before, but I like
McDingers.
that. McDinger's been with him for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Connor Cunningham now legging the field.
Here's Shane Wolf. JB, where is he going to come out in relation to Drake Carty? Carty, first pit box. Shane Wolf making the pass. Carty not rolling, now rolling. No, this is going to be a big lead for Shane Wolf. But
Yeah.
Shane Wolf making an expedition out of turn 1. Wow.
That was wide,
There goes Carty.
but that was 2 seconds a lap, Emerson, for 4 laps.
Yeah.
So that was 8 seconds of time delta difference. 'Cause they were right next to each other when Shane Wolf came down pit road. So you'll see on the ticker, it's going to be close to that when everything kind of equalizes back out. The top 3 still have not made their pit stop yet. I'd have to imagine this is soon.
Cunningham's in.
Yep. I think Speed and Great House will be shortly behind them. I think that gives us the answer. I
Speeds,
think
yep.
27 laps is how far they can go.
Oh, there you go. And Great House staying out. Great
You know
House
what?
is going
He
to
wants a bonus point. He's going to go get him
you
one
a
here.
lap, lad. Why not?
So maybe 28 laps is our answer, which does tell us that Shane Wolf worked it backwards. He pitted on
Yep.
23, so
So Carty
There's that.
here. Carty's going to be running qualifying laps trying to chase down Shane Wolf.
and they're close. They're closer than 8 seconds, and that's because of that moment we saw the 14 have in turn 1 there, Emerson.
Yeah.
That cost him at least a couple seconds, I'd have to imagine.
Plus, he had a slowdown. When you go that wide, you get a slowdown.
Yeah, exactly.
Cunningham down and away. He's following somebody on pit exit. Oh!
Oh, look out. This is not an easy pit road to get off.
Yeah. Well,
I can speak from experience.
Yeah.
6 hours at the Glen, I wrecked our car from the lead, trying to get off pit road one. Embarrassing moment.
fastest lap of the
Built
day.
the guardrail.
Ben Park.
Ben Park, huh? Hey. He was just outside the top 10, I believe, before the pit stop started. He's all the way up to 7th now. That's a nice level of progress there.
Justin Smith having trouble in the bus stop, and Mark Person maybe going a little wide in turn 6. Matthew
There's
Greathouse, the
Greathouse.
leader, is in.
Yep, so this will cycle it, everybody.
With the lead Greathouse has, he might get the lap led depending on where his pit box is.
Yeah.
Another lap led.
We talk about the importance of qualifying here. And you look where these guys started and where they're currently running. They're all within a few spots.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just the nature of it. And that's why you hear guys on road course week. We have this race here, and we have the Roval a little bit later in the schedule. That's really when you hear guys put in a lot of practice. They're trying to get that hot lap down so they can start well, start up front, stay in front of any of the chaos that happens behind them. It's going to work out better for them in the race, ultimately. Now, on a given week at any oval track, it's a fixed setup. So much practice is only going to help you so much. But on these road course races, if you can learn, hey, if I break one cone later, if I hit this curb at this angle, if I throttle up right there, it gives me that edge on that hot lap. That's what these guys are trying to find. And it doesn't surprise me that the top 5 or 6 are who they are, because I know they spent some time doing that.
So here we are. This is our situation now with 21 laps to go, this time by the stripe. JB Drake Carty finds himself in the cat position, in cat and mouse, having to run some qualifying laps if he's going to chase down James Shanewolf. Last lap, he was faster by 4/100ths. Let's see this time by Shanewolf runs a 14:18 and Carty a 14:16, so 2/100ths. Not a lot.
Not right now, but give it 10 laps.
Sure.
And you're going to start to see a larger difference between those two.
How about this?
Sure.
Fastest lap, Connor Cunningham.
Yeah, Connor's not quite done with this. 13:53.
Wow.
That's
moving.
That's 0.3 faster than the pole time in qualifying.
Look at the other laps on the board, JB. The other best laps. The next fastest is Ben with a 13:75, or DeLong with 13:71. Like,
yeah, wow.
he got a couple tenths.
Connor found something right there. Didn't cut the track either, because didn't get any slowdowns or anything like that. And, he's back there lurking. If you look from the leader's point of view, he's close enough. When you give him 10, 12 laps, he could be right
they
there
get
at
battling.
the right time.
That's when you're talking. Yep. By the way, Carty took a huge bite out of Shane Wolf's lead this lap.
Yeah,
this one's gonna be monstrous.
Now. Yeah, that's half a second, right there.
Look at that. Yeah, exactly, half a second. Jeez, Louise.
Maybe a little slip up by the 14 we didn't quite see, but also, those are 4 or 5 lap fresher tires on the 59. They'll start to make the difference more and more as we go. Also, quick shout out, 99 of Wally Babb has not recorded a single incident point in this race, which means he hasn't left the racing surface one time, which is impressive.
White line to white line.
That's hard to do. Yeah, in 30 laps, he's kept all 4 wheels off of grass,
and Watkins,
way
Glen,
outside the track limits.
Wow.
Yeah. So good job, Wally Babb. Way to go.
Trouble for Justin Smith in the bus stop.
I was just going to say, Matthew Greathouse is the only other driver on track that can say the same, so those two doing a good job. Justin Smith crossed up there in the bus stop, but does a good job keeping everything pointed the right direction.
Connor Cunningham, another fastest lap, 13:41.
Oh, wow.
Holy.
He's taking chunks off these front twos gap. Like, we panned to the 14 a lap and a half ago, and you couldn't see the 24.
Yeah.
In the same frame, and now you can. And that's just that just goes to show you he's getting after it. It could be getting past lap traffic a little bit more efficiently. There's a bunch of different things that can affect that.
Matthew Greathouse battling Austin DeLong, nearly getting sideways there. This one's also been going on all race here, JB. DeLong and Greathouse, Green, all these guys on top of one another.
Yeah, a little grouping right there. Now, obviously, that pit stop relegated Greathouse quite a bit further back than he was running. I think a couple spots, but he's got the freshest tires in the field, so he's gonna come up ripping through the next couple spots, I believe, fairly quickly.
Wow, Shane was way out there.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to find a peak. 84, Sean Long is right in front of him. Sean does a great job getting out of the way. Going to let these guys battle it. Next truck, I believe, is a threat level midnight truck. Can't quite tell who that is.
That is, that's Luttrell for next truck up.
So an affiliate of the Threat Level Midnight team. I know he runs with guys and other things. But it's tightening up here again, Emerson. I think we're gonna settle right back into the battle.
And you know what? I think Connor loves to see this. It's 2.5 seconds back. If these two get to battling, Connor will be really chomping at the bit. They get through Chris Luttrell. Connor eats another huge chunk out of this lead. Cardi right there as well. Cardi trying to get to the quarter panel.
Connor got stuck behind Sean
Oh
Long
no! Connor sideways!
Oh, Connor! I think he might have got the wall a little bit.
He did. Right front damage.
Man. I could tell what he was thinking. He was trying to get around that lapper.
Oh, that one's gonna
maybe
burn.
Lost a little focus.
But what's still hot to the touch? This battle for the lead.
Connor's coming down pit road.
Oh no. Oh.
Yeah, I believe he had some required repairs, so unfortunate for Connor. Man, what a run he was having. We're gonna be talking about this for a while, and for good reason.
Drake Carty trying to get inside of Shane Wolf. Almost clips the inside curbing. Here we go, JB, heads up.
Yeah, this is gonna be something to watch these last 17 laps.
Oh yeah. You said it, JB. Shane Wolf's gonna put himself on defense, and he's got 3 lap older tires than Carty. Carty, we kind of knew all race has been faster than Shane Wolf, but hasn't done, you know, the killer blow to get past and stay ahead. Now, the Shane Wolf, knowing this, did he save anything in anticipation that he's gonna have to go toe-to-toe with Carty here at the end?
It could be, but you know, I wouldn't want the 59 very close.
So,
you know, he knows where the 59's better. He knows he can beat him under braking. So I think what Shane Wolf has to do is just run a defensive entry to set up for a nice exit. Don't give him a ton of room to work with on corner entry, and I think you'll be okay. However, as the tires start to go away, you start to lose the amount of control you have over that, and that could be how we see this one end, I think. But I think 14 has found a little something here though, because the last couple lap times by he's been one of the quickest on track, if not the quick.
Michael Sidor in trouble, caught through the inner loop and having to serve a massive slowdown right now. Right in front of the leaders. They're coming up quick on slowing Michael Sidor. Oh, both of these guys, I mean, you hear those rear tires light up, and they're just fighting for grip.
Yep. It's crazy.
Oh, here we go!
Oh, a dive, a curb, a bumper, and...
Oh, man.
Oh, man, what a... That's where it's going to happen, though, I think, Emerson. The 59 gets such a good run off the last corner. It's so good under braking. But Shane Wolf's doing a good job of giving him enough room to operate, but not enough room to be able to push the 14 out of the way. This is the best way to drive it. And that's a skill. That's a road course racing skill that the driver of the number 14 has. I don't know what we're going to clip for highlights, Emerson, out of this race.
Man.
I think we're just going to have to just record this lead battle for the entirety of the race and post that.
You see how far out they're getting there? Shane Wolf nearly clipping the grass coming back onto the track. I mean, they're not just using the runoff. They are using every bit of runoff.
They are trying to run the fastest laps possible at the moment.
If it's paved, it's game.
That's what you want to see in racing. You know, and unfortunately, the recent Cup Series changes have made that not the case. But that used to be what made racing in these road course races on stock cars the best. You're going for it, and one slip is the difference between going the right direction and chaos. And we're seeing these guys push that edge, and both of them, luckily, have kept it pointed the right direction. And on track for a large majority of this race. I mean, a few dropped wheels by both of them, but nothing serious.
Robert Vick in trouble. Where's this at?
Yeah, as much as we talk about the guys that are really good at road racing, you have to give a shout out to the guys that are out to lunch. You know, they showed up here just to try to run this race, complete the laps they can, knowing not going to be my night. But if those that have been a little bit slower on the pace have done a fantastic job giving the leaders the room to operate they need.
Oh, Sidor, sideways right in front of the leaders. But you're right, JB. And if you think, you know, you're not going to have the best of days and you're just going to be a little off the pace, you keep it on the track, you'll be picking up all these spots from these guys who maybe they're trying to get a little too much out of their day, you know?
Yeah, and you see Sean Merriman right there, just know. Oh, what a dive. That's defensive. I think the 14 was thinking about where he was going to pass that 86 and lost track of where the 59 was, and the 59 almost got to him there.
59 didn't lose track of the 14, that's for sure. They go up the hill. Slipping and sliding. Rear tires burning.
86 here. 86 might give the leaders the... Well, I guess not.
I guess not.
You know, 86 teammate of that 59 might not make this necessarily easy.
He almost put it in the wall, though. Cardi,
what a move by Cardi getting in the carousel. Not quite enough room.
A side or blinking in front of leaders. This is going to be hard to take. Damage to the 14.
Oh. Contact between the 86 and the 14. 14 says, you know what? You've driven in front of me enough. I'm going to take this. 14's got position going into this corner. 59's going to try to hang there. Oh, he's got position here.
Side by side.
Little lean.
Oh, contact!
Oh! Oh, man, they saved it.
Cardi now with the advantage into one. Is this it? Under braking now. Shane Wolf, does he have a go back? He tries to the center of the corner. Not able to. Drake. Cardi clears.
We got some slow trucks up here right in front of these guys. A little bit of people getting off track in front of them. Now Cardi's the one that's got to navigate lap traffic. We'll see if he's as decisive as the 14.
Here we go. Oh, into the back of the 71. Hard at the inside guardrail. Spencer Brown spinning across traffic now. Shane Wolf a comeback at the 59. Side by side into the bus stop.
Doors are flying at Watkins Glen.
Oh, 12 laps to go.
Oh, goodness. More contact.
How much longer can these guys take of beating and banging?
This is cross them over.
Stock car racing at a road course at its finest. Oh my goodness!
Just gotta give him room.
Wow!
Oh man! This is insane racing.
Out of all that, Shane Wolf is the leader.
All right. Well, Cardi's got to set him back up, and Cardi now knows. Well, that's how the 14's gonna pass me. It's fine.
That was
next
round
time
2.
I get there, next time I get there, that's gonna be how I pass you. So.
This is a 12-round fight, and that was only round 2.
Man, I don't think we're done.
No, we're not.
I think the 59's going to cool him off, regather himself, and he's going to give him another go. But Emerson, is this not some of the best road racing we've seen on Speed Racing Network?
Oh, it is.
I would say arguably ever.
Are you not entertained?
If you are, please subscribe.
Absolutely.
That's what you would say, right?
If you are, I mean... Why not? Why would you not be subscribed to get more of this every week? Well, they take a breather. We'll take a little breather.
Yeah, I think we need one. I need to stop and grab a beverage real quick.
Oh, man. But the battling, I guess, around the track doesn't take a breather. DeLong and Greathouse continue to do battle. Also, Harris and Radke in a tight-knit battle up there, behind this battle as well. The Long and Greathouse, this battle hasn't gone away all day.
Now, those two have not left each other's side. Greathouse, I think, on a little bit better tire there. Just trying to be patient, get around that 22. Not going to force the issue, running backside of the top 10. They don't want to ruin anybody else's day. But I think he's eventually going to end up with that spot before we're all done.
Great House ascend into the final corner. To no avail. Long hold 7th. Now, what's the lap traffic situation for these two, man? Lap traffic is going to be...
Yeah,
if
you
it
got
hasn't
Mark
already.
Person up there in front of him right now, and then it's clear for a long while until you get to Shane Ledoux.
Cardi!
Cardi
Ascend!
with an aggressive send in the bus stop. Use
Wow!
the 77 as a pick. What a great move
Shane
by Drake
Wolf.
Cardi.
Shane Wolf took it easy into the corner, and Cardi did not. All because of the 77. And now the Shane Wolf has to fight back.
Now it's Shane Wolf that has to regather himself and get back up there, which probably gonna happen before we're done. But yeah, the 14 just kind of coasted on in there behind the 77. Getting to the bus stop's a tough area to try to pass a lapper, so usually you wait for him to get through there and then make your move. Much like you know, the bus stop on the Daytona road course in front, I mean on the backstretch. But Drake Cardi said, you know what? That's my pick. You know, pin the 14 behind the 77 and then made one hell of a move into the bus stop there.
So Shane Wolf trying all he can, but JB, I think with 3 lap older tires, this one's going to be a hard one without some lap traffic.
Yeah, and we're not done with lap traffic either. You know, you look up a little bit higher. Shane Ledoux is sitting, you know, about a straightaway in front of these guys right now. So they're going to catch the 12 for sure. May even get to the 23 and 88, who's running a little bit further up. Don't see them getting to Wally Babb or anybody quite that far. So there still is a little bit more lap traffic, but you do remember at this point, you know, the 59 is on the fresher tires, and now he's up front. So, you know, the 59's kind of got this race in his hands now, as long as he's able to navigate those lappers and be efficient.
Mark Person in trouble in the bus stop. Oh, nearly hit there. Also in trouble, Sidor and Spencer Brown.
Kyle Spees, big damage.
Oh.
He was involved in that somehow.
I think there's a... Yeah. Oh my goodness, you're right.
Yeah, that truck is unhealthy. That might be required repairs. It looks like
is.
it is. The left front suspension
oh my
is
goodness.
no longer attached.
Well, I think we have to do a little bit of investigative work now. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
They'll come to park right here.
He's going to tow. That's going to be the end of Kyle Speed's day, likely.
There's a lot that happened here. We've got to go.
We were focused on the front, and all of a sudden in the back, we got just a self-implosion by the back half of the field.
Yeah. So here's what we found. It's Mark Person in the bus stop, just kind of in a bad spot.
Whoa.
Kyle Spees, I think I don't know. Maybe just had a bad line through there.
Might have got some help. I'm not sure. I don't
Maybe.
believe Spees would have just drove it into his door unless just a complete.
Oh, and then
misjudgment
Sidor.
on how
Oh my goodness.
Oh no! There. Oh.
What in the world happened to Michael Sidor?
Lane Doyle made it through that. Probably the slimmest of margins. Great job there.
Get one more look
That 77
at it.
was real slow there in the bus stop.
Nothing happened to Kyle Spees. He just got in there hot.
Yeah.
Hit the 77.
Don't,
And now Sidor.
Just don't think he expected the 77 to be that slow.
I don't know if he just
and
dropped the
Sidor
gear.
just loses it.
I
Yeah.
don't know what happened, but Park's on the racing line, and
And Spees would have been okay there, I do believe, if he hadn't made contact with the 86. So, that's why you can't just, you know, coast through these races ever. You always got to stay on your toes, ready for what's around the next corner. Unfortunate sequence of events there for Spees and Sidor, because that hit probably is going to end his day as well.
Absolutely.
Well, Drake Cardi's been clicking off some laps.
That he has, Drake Cardi. There he is, 7 laps to go. Here from Watkins, Glen.
Yeah, and they both got past Lane Ledoux with no issue. Joe Ruggles, Scott Kalaw would be the next couple that they'd catch. They're still about half the front straightaway distance in front. So they might not catch them even for a couple more laps here. once they pull up to them, that's only going to leave Emerson, I believe, if my count's right, 16 trucks on the lead lap at this point.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at here. It's pretty spread thin right now. I know it's with 6 laps to go, but having some technical difficulties. We're going to take a quick break here. Be right back to the action from Watkins Glen. Don't go anywhere.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
What I'm about to do is something you never want to do, ever, period. But because I have top coat F11, I can. Watch this. Literally, black paint. I'm just wiping it dry. Come on, you can't beat that. You just can't beat that. That's top coat F11 for you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
What I'm about to do is something you never want to do, ever, period. But because I have top coat F11, I can. Watch this. Literally, black paint. I'm just wiping it dry. Come on, you can't beat that. You just can't beat that. That's top coat F11 for you.
Welcome, race fans, back to Watkins Glen International. We're on the last lap here from Watkins Glen. Unfortunate technical difficulties there has bounded us to this kind of a broadcast, but with half a lap to go, what has not been bound has been the 59 of Drake Carty. And what an amazing run it's been for him today. I mean, qualifying on pole to losing the lead on lap 1, that has got to be more demoralizing than anything else I can think of. But he stood in the fight. He fought it out tooth and nail with the 14 of James Shanewolf, a long-time SRN veteran, and he got the best of him. He played the strategy cards right. He came out with 3-lap fresher tires, went toe-to-toe, out-muscled the 14, and out to the turn 11 for the final time. For the first time in his Speed Racing Network career, the 59 of Drake Carty is going to victory lane at Watkins Glen.
What a drive by Drake Carty in that 59 truck all day long. You know, a hard battle there with the 14, but ultimately came out victorious. Some of the best road course racing we've seen on Speed Racing Network in the history of SRN. Kudos to the 59. Kudos to the 14 for such an amazing race.
Fantastic stuff all around. Great battles up and down the running order. Imagine Lane Doyle was able to get things done for a third place finish.
It's going to take a while for all these guys who maybe be right in front of that 59 all the way back around. Carty's going to be coming back to his celebration now that he's completed the final lap.
Rightful celebration. I mean, he has been working hard all season, JB. He's kept himself up inside the top 5 in points the entire time. Great runs every week. Yeah. And who knew it'd be the road course, Watkins Glen International, where he'd break through and get his first career Speed Racing Network victory.
Yeah, and we see, him, be a factor in all the races so far this season. You see Shanewolf coming up here to give him a little bit of congratulatory tap, probably. Maybe
we're gonna get out of the 14
maybe
of Shanewolf.
Running from him. I don't know. I from what I know about Shanewolf, probably just a little door tap or some friendly. Hell, hey, great race, good job.
Yeah, let's light him up. Why not?
Carty's gonna go get his celebration out of the way. So
as he should.
Fantastic though from these two. And then, of course, Connor Cunningham as well. I mean, was right there, right until that little bit of incident coming off the carousel. He was going to be a factor in this one as well. Don't know if he would have had anything for the 59 or not. We definitely saw 24 its fastest after that first pit stop. But you see team owner there, Martinez. I don't believe this is the first win for DG, if I'm not mistaken. Not. I don't think so, but.
They had a side-door win at Dega.
That's right. Last year we had a side-door win. But this is a big win for the team this year, right? Kind of going all in on this truck series. Great lineup of drivers. Fantastic race here.
Well, we're going to take this opportunity to talk to our top 3 finishers this evening, JB. You could go ahead and do the honors of bringing them on up. I guess we have to talk to the man who got it done this evening, who fought tooth and nail with a hard veteran here in Speed Race Network and James Shanewell. He didn't let that get the better of him after losing the lead on the initial lap. Drake Carty fought to get his first career victory here at Watkins Glen. Drake, tell us all about that.
Man, this one feels great. The amount of practice and time we spent into it this week, and I really want to thank my team for helping me practice this week. DG Motorsports and the iBot truck was flying. I just needed some clean air to get it to work.
Well,
it was an impressive drive for sure. Yeah, it was impressive. I mean, so, between you and Shane Wolf up front, and then Connor when he was up there as well, some of the best road course racing we've seen in Speed Racing Network history. So, thank you for putting on a great show for all the viewers this evening. But talk to us a little bit about your approach to the race, like strategy-wise. Did you know you wanted to work the race backwards, split it in half? We knew you guys could do it on one stop, but what was your thought on how to approach that one stop?
Yeah, based off the start, I was not happy because I had an inside run, but Shane Wolf got next to me and got around me on the outside, and just kind of stay with him. I wanted to save tires, keep in his draft, and then eventually try to go for the move, but he played really good defense and just couldn't get around him based off the first stint. Really good hard racing with him. And then I noticed he pit first, so I waited a few extra laps to try to get the overcut. And then once I came into the pit, tires felt pretty good. Made up my way back to him, and then a lapper helped me past him, and just tried pulling away from there.
Well, Drake, I mean, this one was a long time coming. You had fought, very hard, not just tonight, but all season. You kept yourself inside the top 5 in points. But did you know Watkins Glen was going to be the one where you broke free to finally get your first career victory here in SRN?
Yeah, this was my best chance for sure. I'm a road racer. I grew up doing go-karting, and ovals is kind of new to me a little bit. So I knew once I could see a roval on the calendar, I was a little bit excited about that. So started working on a few weeks out from the race just to get better and master this track.
Absolutely. Well, next up is Iowa. Very fun multi-groove short track in Newton, Iowa. What about it? What do you think about it?
Just bought the track yesterday, so I'll let you know hopefully let you know in the post interview next week. But we'll see. Same thing as this week. Just practice with my team and just get good.
Well, you'll have to report back to us on your thoughts about Iowa. But before we send you back to celebrate with that great team of yours, who do you have to thank for the effort, and who do you guys have to thank as a team that bring the show to us every week?
Yeah, I want to thank IBOC, D-Long Performance, Tony G's Pub, DG Motorsports, and everyone supporting me, watching on the stream. And you guys, of course, for hosting this awesome series with very competitive drivers, and it's just really fun.
Well, that is our race winner, getting his first career victory in 5 starts here in Speed Racing Network competition. Drake Carty, what a great start to the season for him. And he gets through a tough one here at Watkins Glen to claim victory. I bet that one feels even greater. But now we'll move on to our second place finisher, driver of the number 14. This driver fought and toiled hard all race long, took the lead on the initial start, and really tried to never look back, but the 59 just gave you a great fit all day. James, what more could you have done differently?
Oh, man, I feel like a lap car really decided that one, man. I feel like I was good through the passing zones, and it was hard for Drake to get a run on me, and I feel like that was the only reason I was really able to hold him off for as long as I was. And then we got to the bus stop that one time with that lap car right in the middle of the track, man, and trying to be cordial and not do anything to ruin his race or my race, and Drake capitalized on it and just took off from there. But really, man, I don't know. That was, honest to God, the most fun I have had on the service, road racing and oval racing. I mean, there was beating and banging. We were leaning on each other. Neither one of us tried to wreck each other. I know he got a little mad at me there at the end. Again, it was nothing malicious. It was just hard racing up front, man. It was so much fun. Reminded me of Keselowski and Ambrose going at it that one year here, man. It was a blast.
I'll tell you, we had a lot of fun watching it too. Me and Emerson were both screaming at one point, and then we just went silent because we didn't know what to say. We were watching it closely because we didn't know what was going to happen next. But yeah, we saw they caught that lap car at just a weird spot. But we talked to Drake a little bit about his strategy approaching the race, and yours was obviously a little bit different. You kind of elected to work the race backwards. So it seems like you pitted as soon as you knew you could make it. What went into you choosing that strategy, and why did you think that was going to be what was going to be the win?
To try to get him off my back bumper, honestly, man. I was hoping to be able to have some time to breathe, be able to click off some laps, maybe open up a little bit of a gap and try to maintain it. And the gap was there, but the tires weren't by the time everything settled out. You know, them couple laps made a huge difference time-wise, and he was able to get right back to me. But yeah, really, that was the only deciding factor. I needed a minute to breathe. I mean, he was all over the back of my truck, man. Like I said, dude, I can't say enough about Drake, dude. I've got so much respect for him after tonight. Never really got to race with him like throughout the season. Haven't really been side by side with him, but dude, being able to lean on each other like that and not just straight up dump each other, and you know, being able to push the issue, it was amazing. That's what people sign up on iRacing for, man. That's what people sign up for is races like that. I've been on the sim 7 years, and that was probably the hardest I've ever drove and the most fun I've ever had.
Well, it looked like it was an absolute blast just from up here in the booth. Congratulations on a second place finish here tonight from Watkins. Glenn, next up is Iowa. What do you think about your chances there? How do you feel about it?
I love the short tracks, man. I know a lot of these guys are really fast, so I'm still trying to learn everybody. So I don't want to say I'm going to do good because, man, there's some guys that can come out of left field and just be stupid fast. So it's a good track for me, typically. So hopefully that'll carry over and we can get a good finish there next week.
Well, Drake said he just bought the track, so you might have a leg up on him on that one. I don't know. But before we send you back down there this evening, you know, who do you have to thank for your effort here week to week?
Got to thank Alex at Alex's Save You Time out there in South Hill, Virginia. So if you ever stop by there, man, make sure you swing by. Or if you're ever going through South Hill, if you're ever going through down south of Richmond or north of Raleigh on 85, stop in South Hill, get yourself a drink, fill up the gas tank, whatever you got to do. Shout out to him for coming on board this season on a whim. My dad was doing some work for him. He showed him this stuff one night while he was at work, and he loved it and wanted to be a part of it. So shout out to him for coming on board. Brian Easler Electric here in Spartanburg. John at Nifty Lift for him jumping on board this season as well. Adam Capps at Elite Entertainment. He has been a long-time supporter of mine throughout a bunch of different businesses that he's owned and ran and whatnot. Does a whole lot for me, so I really appreciate him. Drew Trader at Transcendent Designs for walking me through how to make paint schemes. I whipped something up for tonight, and it's all thanks to him, man. He literally taught me step by step on how to design these cars. So, you guys as well up here in the broadcast booth, everybody behind the scenes at SRN for keeping this going, and shout out to Lane and the rest of my team here at Outfront Motorsports, man. Another really good point tonight, team-wise for us. So hopefully we can keep that momentum rolling. But yeah, man, big shout out to everybody watching as well, dude. It was supersonic fun, dude. It was insane.
Glad to hear it, James. And well, congratulations once again on your second place finish. Best luck to you next time out in Iowa. And JB, why don't you get us started here with our third place finisher?
Yeah, Mr. Lane Doyle comes home in third. It seems like we're talking to you every week, which is usually a pretty good thing. So Lane, talk us through the race tonight. We saw you up there at the front early, but ultimately just kind of minded your business back there in the backside of the top five. Came home with a podium finish.
That was the goal tonight. I've got a bad history of involving myself with the wall here at the Glen. It's just real easy to shift your weight the wrong way and find yourself going the wrong direction. So my goal was to just run fast laps, but not so fast that I back it up into a wall. And I feel like I did that pretty well tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it was a obviously we had our eyes peeled to what was happening in the front, and you had to be licking your chops, sitting right behind them, knowing if they get into each other, I'm gonna have a shot at this. But we've talked to the top two, and I guess we'll talk to you about it as well. What was your strategy going in? We knew that you could make it on one stop. You know, did you want to work the race back to front? Were you gonna just split it in half, or did seeing Shane Wolf come early influence your decision?
Shane Wolf coming early absolutely threw me off because he came in the lap I was going to come in. And so when I went to the last corner in which we need to pit, I messed up my corner entry and missed pit road. So my strategy was going to be in line with Shane Wolf's, but I made a very quick decision, not by my own doing, to come in the next lap. I knew the undercut was going to be strong, so I was just going to try and get that out of the way as soon as possible and then save up my tires, which I feel like I didn't do very well the first run. And then, yeah, had to throw a little bit of an audible because my teammate, but we still made it work.
Yeah, and so we look forward. Iowa is next week. What do you feel? How do you feel about your chances when we roll into Newton, Iowa?
I personally love Iowa. It's my favorite short track on the sim. I love running there in the trucks and in ARCA. So I'm hoping to have a good performance there next week as well.
Sounds like a plan. Well, we'll be there to watch it. Before we let you go and celebrate your podium finish with James, who do you have to thank for your weekly efforts here?
My family. They're out there right now. Some in the living room, some in their living rooms across Texas. They're always out there supporting me. I love them. Thank you all.
Thank you, Lane. Congrats on your third place finishes. We'll see you next week at Iowa. All right, Emerson.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
That's some great post-race. If you got some results to send my way, JB, so we can get some post-race results going here to wrap things up.
You know, technically, we're still trying to catch up here on what's happening, but I think we're all still kind of dumbfounded by what we just saw as far as that battle throughout that whole race. Kind of calmed down there at the end once the 59 got to the lead, but ultimately was stout throughout. So Emerson, you should have those results now, and whenever you're ready, we'll kind of go through them.
We can go through it now with our first time winner, Drake Carty, winning it here at Watkins Glen with Shane Wolf, who had to bring it home in second after a long, hard fight with that 59 machine. Lane Doyle brings it home third. Ben Park had some quick laps in him in that 17 machine. He'll finish fourth. Jason Green then fifth. Andrew Harris will finish sixth. Daniel Park, a nice run up to inside the top 10, finishes seventh in that 7 machine. Jeffrey Radke will finish 8th. Talladega winner Kyle Johnson will finish 9th. And Matthew Greathouse outlasts Austin DeLong to finish 10th.
Hey, real quick, how about that I almost said bird. How about that Park Brothers Racing team 6th through 8th? I mean 4th, 5th, and 6th there on the finishing results. That's a pretty good job. Austin DeLong is 11th. David Flanagan brings it home 12th. Aiden King 13th. Scott Claw 14th. Sean Merriman 15th. Michael Sidor 16th. Wally Babs 17th. Dylan Godina is the team owner of our winner 18th. Justin Smith 19th. And Sean Woodside rounds out the top 20.
Down to some of our heartbreakers. There are some of our lap trucks, including Sean Long in the 84 machine will finish 21st. Dalton McKinney will finish 22nd. Shane Ledoux 23rd. Robert Vick 24th. Mark Person had a day. He'll finish 25th. Chris Luttrell went around a couple times. It'll be 26th for the 00. Sean Corcoran finishes 27th in that 74. Cal Spees, some terminal damage late in the race, will finish 28th. Spencer Brown will finish 29th. And Joe Ruggles, have a rough outing for that 96 machine. He'll finish 30th.
Heartbreak for Connor Cunningham after probably having a pretty good shot at this one. Terminal damage brings it home 31st. Bo Brady 32nd. Jeffrey Vickery 33rd. Corey Stahl 34th. Again, a nice field for a road race. A welcome sight here on SRN. Quick shout out, Wally Babb and Matthew Greathouse finished that race with 0 incident points.
How about it?
They didn't drop a wheel off the racetrack, made no contact with any items or other vehicles. And let me tell you, on a road course, that's a hard thing to do. So Matthew Greathouse, Wally Babb, fantastic job there. That also includes a bonus point as far as points are concerned as well for that. So great job by those two.
One of the hardest bonus points to come by.
100%.
Last
100%.
2 weeks,
No
for
doubt.
sure.
No
Well, other than that, I want to give a huge shout out to all of our partners here at Speed Racing Network. A huge shout out, of course, to HairClub. Make sure you take control of your hair loss at HairClub. Their total hair solutions can help you keep or regrow or restore your hair. Speak with their hair loss specialist today. Use code SRN10 to save 10% off of your order. ThermoPro, of course, a huge partner here at SRN. Adminbox, of course. Adminbox is built by iRacers for iRacers, and the goal is to make race control as easy as possible. Each admin box connects via USB and features pre-programmed commands for race control, driver function, and pit options. LED backlighting makes the buttons highly visible in any situation, and make sure you use code SRN-box, that's BOXX, for 10% off of your admin box purchases. Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing, established in 2016, and they offer many different options to help take your sim racing career to the highest levels of iRacing. With over 50,000 customers worldwide, they have got the tools you need to compete with the best sim racers iRacing has to offer. Use code SPEEDNETWORK15 for 15% off of your order. And also shout out to Top Coat and Better Boat for joining us on the ride here at SRN. Well, that'll do it for us here from Watkins Glen. Want to thank you all so much for tuning in and joining us for tonight's action, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Make sure you join us next Tuesday night as the HairClub trucks head to Newton, Iowa, the Iowa Speedway, and it'll be a nice outing there at the short track. From all of us at Speed Racing Network, Jonathan Byer and myself, Emerson Arden, thank you all so much for watching. See you then.